Disappointed in how we played yesterday. I thought Buffalo beat us with our brand of football. And those are some things we have to talk about with the staff and with the players to make sure that we come back, get aligned on what we're trying to do as a football team, and understanding, man, this is like a brick by brick mentality for us. And we're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to build and do everything we can to make sure that we stay aligned on what we're trying to do as far as this football team. So, listen, I'm disappointed, but again, just like last week, I don't want to sit here and say that I'm discouraged. I hate the way that we played yesterday, but I know what the type of players we have, the type of coaching staff we have, and we're going to do everything we can to try to fix these problems and move forward. So any questions?
Hey, AJ, could you give us an update on Justin Fields?
Yeah, he's in the protocol right now, and it's always a hard one to really just try to evaluate until we get more information. So I'm sure I'll be giving you guys more information as the week progresses.
Where do you stand as a coach? I mean, if he can't, does he have to practice? If he misses significant practice time this week, does he play?
Well, it's hard for me as a coach once we get to Friday and you haven't had any reps. And that's just something that I believe in. So, again, I don't want to put anything on that as far as where we're at with him until we get to that point.
AJ, as you guys start building a game plan today and tomorrow for Tampa Bay,
yep.
Do you do that in mind if that Tyrod is probably the starter, or how does that affect your plan?
Well, we have to look at that both ways. You're absolutely right. You know, we have to look at, okay, if Justin's going to be ready to play. And like I said, we'll get more information so we can be more pinpointed on that. But we do have to look at it that way. You know, if Justin can't play, then Tyrod will be the guy. And we have to make sure we build a plan that's suitable for him.
How much changes in that case? I mean, we know what Tyrod can do. He's been doing it for a long time. But, you know, What changes? How much changes?
As far as if Tyrod's the quarterback?
Right, if Tyrod's the quarterback.
Well, you know, I don't think it changed that much. I said that, you know, during camp. That was one of the positive things of having Tyrod as a backup. But there are some things that we want to get together as a staff and make sure that we're aligned on as far as, man, this is like specifically what Tyrod likes. And that's communication with Tyrod, too. So, I don't want to go that far ahead until we have a chance to sit with him and understand the things that he likes also.
With Tyrod, is it concerning at all that essentially he's in his preseason right now because he missed the real preseason? So he's only practiced for a couple of weeks. How concerning would that be if you have to go with him?
Not concerning at all. I mean, Tyrod's been in this league for a number of years. So I look at that just like Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, last year, Teddy came back with us during the playoffs, and he was able to come in and function for us when Goff had went down. And same thing with Teddy's now with Tampa. You know, and he hasn't had a lot of practice. I see Tyrod the same way. Listen, he's been in this league for a long time. You know, it doesn't take much for him to understand exactly what we're trying to do and what we're trying to get done. So I have no concerns of that whatsoever.
Do you have any updates on the other injured guys from last night?
Say it one more time.
Do you have any updates on the other injured guys from last night, like Jermaine?
I will get that later today.
AJ, you said, you know, you'd take a look in the mirror yourself. About yesterday. Is there anything you feel like you could have done better yesterday?
You know what? To me, it's getting the guys to play at a level that we need to play on a week-to-week basis. And I will tell you this, I'm always looking myself first, no matter what. You know, good game, bad game, no matter what. And, man, I want to make sure that we play a brand of football that we talk about every week. And when we don't hit that brand, I always look at myself. So, I have to really try to pinpoint that, to be honest with you. But you're going to hear that from me every week. You know, it always starts with me, and then it filters down to everybody else. So I just hate the fact that we didn't play the way that I know that we are capable of playing.
How difficult is that from the standpoint of you want to be consistent in a good way? Yeah. You know, how do you get that consistency every week where you see the arrow pointing up?
Well, it's work. I mean, it's what you do on a day-to-day basis. And here's what I do know. I know this is an instant coffee league. I know from the media to the fans, everybody expects this, you know, when you just start, okay, we're going to the Super Bowl. But we've all played Legos before. And we all know that, man, you have to make sure everything is aligned and you keep stacking it day by day by day. And to me, that's how I look at it. You know, I understand the outside noise, and I'm not affected by the outside noise because I know exactly what we're trying to build here. And I wish it was instant coffee, but it's not. These things take time. And my confidence or the coach's confidence or the player's confidence is not going to be shaken. And we're going to continue to do the things we got to do to build this.
Along those same lines, AG, you referenced
again?
Detroit. Along those same lines, the instant coffee idea. You've referenced Detroit and what you guys did in Detroit. But your first year, it was 0-10-1, 3-13-1 overall. Like, does there need to be some patience here as you guys are trying to turn the ship around, so to speak?
I think internally, we understand that. And there's patience no matter if you're a good team or bad. There has to be patience no matter what. Because this league, man, like the ebb and flows of this league is funny sometimes. Man, yesterday, like Detroit was counted out, and then they come back and they have a really good game. You look at the Chiefs right now, they're 0-2. But the thing is, we know they have championship quality players and a staff over there. So I don't think they're going in the tank at all. Man, this league is really a week-to-week league. And we look forward to every week going out there showing our brand of football. And we have to do it. And we know that. But that's what practice is for us to be able to do that.
Are you a patient?
Are you a patient
man, or is that something you've had to learn over the years? Because you don't seem patient.
Listen, I want to win football games, but I also understand how this league is. I've been around this league for a long time. And just throughout the course of my years as a coach and as a player, man, I've seen how the ebb and flows of this league's going to go. In New Orleans, we were 7-9. All right, we come back the next year, we start 0-2, and then we finish 12-4. So my confidence is not going to be shaken at all. Same thing, someone just talked about Detroit. 3-13-1. The following year, we start 1-6. And then we go on a winning spree and end up being 9-8, battling for the playoffs that last game. So it can be done, fellas. I've been there. I know it can. But again, my focus right now is really stacking these bricks day by day.
You're talking about, like, since we're on the instant coffee theme, with the defense.
There you go.
No, with the defense, I think it was a fair expectation that the defense, which is largely intact from last year, most of it's back, that it would start a lot faster than it has. Yeah. So what isn't happening on defense?
Here's because I think the question was asked yesterday, and I want to make sure that we all understand this. Like I'm gonna be a part of every phase of what we're trying to special teams, offense, and defense. But I have the ultimate confidence in each of my coordinators, to go out there and do a good job. And I'm going to support them to the fullest. And listen, there are some things that we have to do a better job on defense. I know that, but the thing is, man, we have to continue, just like I said before, we have to continue to understand exactly what we're trying to do with the defense and just keep building these blocks. We got guys that play with high effort. It's just now fundamentally we have to make sure we're on the same page. In 21, they was trying to fire me from Detroit too. They were trying to fire Dan from Detroit. But every day we were stacking those bricks. And I'm not going to lose confidence in our coordinators, not one bit.
AG, what did you think of Malachi Moore's play yesterday? Obviously, he's been playing a lot of special teams, but got the increased role on defense after the injury.
I think he did a pretty good job. And listen, it's tough for a rookie to come in as a secondary player, and especially if you're not with the ones on a play-to-play basis. To make sure that you're intact with everything is going on. But I thought he did a really good job. Listen, he's a smart player, so it doesn't surprise me at all. But again, now that, he was with our ones, man, he has to make sure that, and we all have to make sure that the communication between the back end is on point.
Couple more here.
I think, Aaron, I think I phrased this question poorly to you yesterday, so that's on me. So I'm going to give it another crack. 4th and 1 in the third quarter. Why did you decide to punt in that situation?
Okay, if I can remember that, I think it was 6 minutes left in the game. I think they were up 23-3. I think we was at our -28.
Correct.
We're still in the game. And I didn't want to give those guys a short field because obviously our defense, we were struggling a little bit. So I felt like, man, if we can punt this ball, we can create some field position, man, we can try to stop them, right, and then be able to score, man, that we still have a chance. And I think it was said yesterday that the score that we was out of it, I totally disagree with that. It was 23-3 with 6 minutes left in the third quarter. We have a ton of time, to get our offense back in check and be able to go and get this game back to where we want to be. The team that we just played, I think they scored 17 points in 6 minutes in the fourth quarter, their first game. So I just felt like at that point, man, let's punt it, right? Man, let's get a stop. Let's try to flip the field and see if we can score and try to get this game back where we wanted it.
AG, when you went back and watched the run defense specifically, like what jumped out about what wasn't working yesterday?
Over pursuit for the most part, and just playing leverage football, because the effort was absolutely there. Our guys were running their ass off trying to get to the ball. But, man, when you have 2 and 3 guys running outside the ball, and it's a cutback league, man, we can't allow it to happen. And that's something we can fix, quickly, and our guys will understand that. So I look forward to making sure when we get in a meeting that we address that.
And what's your day after take on the Michael Clemens penalty, the actual play, and what you might say to that particular player as a coaching point?
It can't happen. That's one of the things that we stressed during the week. And I would say this, Mike has done a really good job from training camp, right, going to the season, of understanding exactly what we're trying to do. I think he had the one in Green Bay, which, I think it was a personal foul, right? And then the one yesterday of, man, it's so hard for a defensive lineman to make sure that, they don't go in and try to finish the tackle on the quarterback because of the rules. But that's not an excuse at all. We know what it is, especially with that player. So I have to go back and make sure I emphasize again with him, man, you have to understand exactly where we have to tackle the quarterback, because he was going to try to make a play, and it's tough. Across the league, every defensive coach is pissed at that, because, man, those guys do everything they can to go try to make a play. And we just cannot do it, especially with that player as far as where you tackle him at.